Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been so long since I've been on to do another video. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I know it has been a while and I'm sure you guys are kind of wondering what the heck happened to me. I'm still here. I have just been adjusting and trying to get everything together and trying to figure out life now that I have a newborn. Well, not even a newborn anymore. He's what is he considered, an infant now? Just crazy. He is now 5 months and a week. Just crazy, 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 crazy. I have a list of things that I'm going to go through. Feel free to leave me any questions down in the comments. I will reply and respond to them on my next video as well. It's good to be back. Hello to those who subscribed to my channel while I was gone. You guys were probably also thinking like, what the heck is, where did this girl go? So I'm glad to be back. I'm going to try to do videos as often as possible. Again, just trying to adjust to the whole schedule and everything. It's just been kind of rough. I do have my full-time job still. I'm still doing that. I go to work super early in the morning and then I come home and I get 2.5 hours with Ethan and then he goes to bed. I then am pumping and trying to get stuff done, trying to hang out with my husband for a little while, and I'm not really doing, my videos. So right now he's taking care of Ethan while I do a video because I told him, I haven't been on for so long, and they're probably like, where did she go? I just want to go through the list. Again, if there's any questions that you guys have, just feel free to leave them down in the comments for me. I'm upstairs in the spare room in our house. As you can see that the nursing chair that we had up here is now downstairs. Ethan no longer sleeps with us upstairs any longer. He sleeps in his own crib, in his own bedroom. We moved the nursing chair down into his room now because at night when I go to feed him, I just feed him down in his room and put him back in his crib versus having to bring him up, feed him up here, and then take him down and put him in his crib. So we moved it downstairs. It's been so nice to have just late night feedings. If he wakes up, we can rock him back to bed, stuff like that. So that's what's been going on. So that's why this looks a little bare. It's kind of crazy because we don't really use this section of the house anymore. We used to change him over here at night when he was sleeping with us in the rock and play. I used to feed him in the nursing chair over here, and that's no longer up here. It's just kind of crazy because I haven't sat in here for quite some time. So other than that, I'll start with a little bit about me and what's going on. I did lose a lot of the baby weight. I'm 2 pounds away from pre-pregnancy weight, which is crazy because I haven't done too much. I did start watching what I was eating. I was counting macros and just doing that type of stuff. Just really, really watching what I was eating. Currently, I really haven't been doing much of that, which I wish I was doing more of just because then I can kind of lose more of the weight. So again, I'm 2 pounds away from pre-pregnancy weight. I do still want to lose a lot more than that. A lot of it has just been the breastfeeding aspect of it. I'm still currently breastfeeding. We are doing bottles, and on weekends, I still breastfeed him pretty much the entire day, except for our night feeding. So our night feedings have now gone to 2 bottles. He was starting to get really fussy at night with me when I was latching him on. The milk wasn't coming down quick enough for him, and then he wasn't getting enough to get him through the entire night. So one night I just experimented with it and I gave him a bottle, and it got him through the night, and he wasn't fussy, crying, or anything like that. It just got to a point where he was just screaming his head off at me when I was latching him on, and he was just so mad, and I remember I sat there one day and I was crying just because I felt so bad, and then I felt like I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, and it just became this huge thing where I was like, you know what, let's try a bottle and see how it goes. So we've been doing bottle at night, which is nice too because Kevin gets to feed him at night while I then pump. So it kind of takes a little bit of the burden off of me and having to feed him and then pump and then still try to do everything at night. So I get to pump while he feeds him, and then he puts him to bed, and it's pretty quick and easy. He is sleeping through the night. He was starting to get to a point where he would wake up at like 1 or 2 to want to eat, and then he would then wake up again at like 6. That phase kind of went by. Now he's been waking up at like 3 or 4. It was like 2 and 3, and now 3 and 4 to eat. And then again, when he was waking up for the day. Recently, the last couple of days, he's been getting up quite later. It's like 6, 7 o'clock when he's getting up to eat. So this morning I had to wake him up at 5 to feed him before I went to work. And then again, he gets his next feeding at like 7:30. So it's just kind of every week, every couple of weeks, it just kind of changes with him. But it's been nice just because he does usually sleep through the night. I'm a little sick. I've gotten sick a couple times. He usually gets sick, and then I get sick right after once, I've breastfed him a couple of times. He usually feels a lot better within like 24 hours, and then it cycles through me, and I get sick, and then usually for me, it's only been like 24 to 48 hours that I've been sick because it's not like a full on, like I'm full on sick. This last time I got a full on cold. He came home with a cold from daycare, I think is what happened. And then I was breastfeeding, so he got better pretty quickly. But then he passed it on to me, and I was down for a couple of days. I'm still just super congested, and a lot of the stuff that I'm reading is that you just can't take a lot of medication when you aren't breastfeeding because you don't want to kind of pass it along. So I haven't really been taking anything at all, which it does suck just because it lasts that much longer. But it's been getting better, and you could probably hear I'm really congested. So, I'm losing some hair. I started losing some like right here in this area. It's starting to grow back, but on both sides, I started losing quite a bit of hair. And then now it's just like baby hairs. It is growing back, but I got to a point where I had my hair up, and it was kind of crazy. I had it up in a bun, and all of a sudden, I just kind of like I looked in the mirror and I noticed that it was kind of like a receding hairline right here. It was just crazy, and I was like, what the heck is going on? I finally like really really looked at myself, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I haven't been wearing my hair up just because of that. But yeah, it's coming back in, but I started losing quite a bit all of a sudden randomly at like I want to say 4 months is when it happened, and you could find my hair kind of everywhere, all over the place. It was just kind of crazy, and I was getting really nervous about this, starting to keep going back and then not growing back. But it is starting to grow back. It's just tiny little baby hairs, but oh my gosh, it's crazy. I was just like, what is happening? So that happened to me. I don't think anything like any crazy things happened to me within the last couple of months, but that was one thing that I was like, oh no, like I really don't want it to keep going. So that happened. Ethan is about 17 pounds now. It's crazy. He's so big to me. He's again 5 months and a week. So he's currently close to 17 pounds. I'll know exactly in a couple of weeks what his next weight is going to be, or whatever his exact weight is when we go to his doctor's appointment for his 6-month appointment. We did give him a little bit of oatmeal at 5 months. Maybe like a week before 5 months, actually, we gave him oatmeal, and he hated it. We thought he would do good with it just because he kept like watching everything we were eating, and he just kept like kind of grabbing at it. So we thought maybe he was a little bit close to wanting to eat. Our doctor had told us that at about 5 months, 4 to almost 5 months, she said we can kind of experiment with it and give him every once in a while. So we did one night, and he totally hated it. He was like, oh, I don't like this. So we haven't tried it again. I think close to 6 months is when we'll really try to give him some more stuff. We'll see what our doctor's appointment, how it goes, and what she says this next time. But she said around 6 months is usually when she tells parents that it's okay to really start giving them more food. So we'll see about that. He's currently rolling. It took him quite a while to start rolling. He just kept, when he would turn, he would keep one arm out. So when he would try to turn, this arm would be in the way. So he was trying to roll over, but it would just be in the way and he couldn't get over. So he's learning to kind of put that arm down and get over and then get this arm up. So he's doing a lot of that. He loves to bounce. I bought him the Baby Einstein jumper, so he has that. He loves it. I recommend that to everybody. Um, totally loves that. We have the little Baby Einstein playmat that has the little not bars, but you know, the little soft things that go over it, and it has a star at the top. Loves the star. He loves his little the musical thing that goes around on the crib. Loves to watch that. Loves music. What else is he doing? I have everything written down so I don't forget anything. He's grabbing like a lot of stuff. He's grabbing his bink and putting it in his mouth. A couple of times he's grabbed his bottle and was holding it. Um, he blabbers a lot. He's starting to do the bubbles where he blows bubbles and he just really goes at it. He's starting to kind of sit up. So if we sit him up, he just kind of hangs out, but then he kind of like wobbles and, you know, moves back and forth. He likes to rock back and forth when he's sitting on you. He's holding his head up just fine. Just so much. It's so much stuff that has happened since I last saw you guys, and he's just so much more, not mobile, but he wants to do so much, and he's so interested in everything and wants to touch everything, and he loves to touch your face. He wants to grab your mouth. The one time he got really sick was at his 4-month shots. The next morning he woke up with 100, I think it was just 100 fever. He just had a fever all day pretty much, and he just was really fussy, but other than that, any other shots that he got, he was fine. We have been using the nose Frida to suction out his boogers because he does get congested every once in a while, so that has been amazing. He's currently in 6 months clothes. Carter's has been the best one for us just because he is a lot longer than he is wider. Gerber was running way small for everything. He was in 6 months at like 3 months. He loves to be outside. He just loves to just see everything. He loves to go out. On weekends when we run errands, he's just like so alert and wants to see everything. He takes his naps. He's pretty much on his own schedule. He has been for so long. He usually wakes up, plays for like an hour. He wakes up, he eats, he plays for an hour, then he goes to bed, then he wakes up, he eats, he plays, and then it's literally just back to back is what he really does. And it's been good for us. We've gotten really adjusted to it. We did go to California. That's another thing. So you guys know I'm from California, Southern California. We flew into Ontario and we went to go see my parents down in Redlands. My dad hadn't met him, and my grandparents, my aunt and uncle, all of them hadn't met him, so they were able to meet him. He did so well in flying. I basically wore him the entire time. 3 out of the 4 flights, because we had connecting flights, we had the full row, so that was nice because we put him in the middle and he was just sleeping. I breastfed him on the way up so that it would help with his ears popping. And that worked out very well. Our timing with feedings and everything just happened to work out with the time that we were actually taking off each time, so it just all worked out. He slept, again, basically through the whole thing. The first night was rough in California just because it's a 2-hour time difference. So he just kind of wasn't adjusted, and then when he would fall asleep, we would be landing, and then we would have to wake him up to, pick him up and take him and all of that stuff, and then getting in the car and doing all that stuff. He wasn't adjusted to it, and we had to keep waking him up when he was trying to nap, so he was really fussy at night. He was super tired and just couldn't go to sleep, so that's kind of how the first night went, but then after that he just got adjusted and it was fine. But he did very well. We went to the beach. We put his feet in the sand. There's pictures on my Instagram if you guys want to check it out. I'll have it linked down below. But he loved the sand. He loved the water. he loved my grandparents. He loved, well, his great grandparents and my parents, which would be his grandparents. He loved everybody. It was so fun to see just his smile throughout the whole time, and it was just so fun. There was so many different things that we got to do with him, and it was really fun. So the whole trip went very well. If you guys want a video on how we traveled and stuff like that, what we took, just because there was a lot of stuff that we did take for him, but it was all 100% worth it and 100% was used. So if you guys want a video on that, I can do a video on that. The other video I had in mind was my pumping bag for work. I think that might help out some working mamas out there. I can do a video on everything that I carry with me because I do a daily bag basically every single day, which is just crazy. It's like you have to take it, you have to bring it, you have to take it, you have to bring it. So I can do all of that. Currently, he's taking 25 ounces in bottles throughout the day, and I feed him twice. So just depending on, what he gets for those 2 pumps or 2 breastfeedings that I do with him. But I'm hardly keeping up. The whole breastfeeding thing has been really tough. He jumped up at 4 months to 5 ounces of feeding. So that's when it got to 25. And I was basically making anywhere from 15 to 19 ounces. So I was barely keeping up with him. I did start taking some supplements. I started taking one that is called Let There Be Milk. It is the most disgusting thing I have ever tasted, but it has helped. I'm still eating the lactation cookies that are from Milk and Cookies. Love those cookies. And then I'm taking mother's milk and then fenugreek pills. So I'm doing all of the supplements that I can to help production. I'm starting to get up to about 24 ounces. And then on the weekends, I pump when he's sleeping. So if he misses, his 4 to 6 o'clock feeding and he doesn't wake up till 8:30, I still do an earlier pump so that I can try to get ahead for the week or try to make up for the week. I'm sorry I've been MIA. It's been tough. It's been a tough couple of months, but the adjustment period I think is kind of getting to where it needs to be as far as getting used to our daily and me trying to do more videos. Again, I'm going to try to jump back in, do as much as possible. Leave me some comments down below on what you guys want to see. I haven't really gotten a lot of feedback or anything from you guys as to what you want to see and stuff like that. I haven't gotten a lot of comments. I've gotten a couple new viewers since I've been gone, which I think is crazy just because I haven't been on for so long. So thank you guys for sticking with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, let me know what you guys want to see. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.